How's it going, guys? Welcome back, and I hope you're doing well. So today, we're gonna do is I have 10 tips for you for Khazan. Now, I do have, as I'm making this video, I have a little over 1,000 hours on the game. Your first question may be, wow, how could this game have that much content? Well, just a quick answer. The combat system will keep you hooked, and there is a lot to it. But before we get into everything, a couple things. First, some of you may know, I like to do unscripted content. So if it does get a little long-winded, I will leave the chapters down below. For this video, I do have just the 10 tips, but I'm going to just be giving my commentary on each tip and why I chose to put it in, right? Other than that, this video is mainly for new players. If, for some reason, someone decides to pick up the game in 2026, right? It's going to be for them. But also, if you maybe tried the game, you played it a little bit, and you put it down quickly after release, or you put it down without finishing it, you had some critiques about the game, maybe some things that I go over can encourage you to pick the game back up. I will sprinkle in some, a little bit of fight footage in the background, maybe to illustrate some points, but just to have something pleasing to look at, right? Some smooth combat while you guys listen to me yap in my 10 tips. One other thing before we get started, and again, mainly for those newer players and some players maybe haven't finished the game, but also, if you are an experienced player or you finished the game and, maybe you've been following the channel, feel free to leave a comment on maybe something that you think that a new player should be aware of, or another tip that you think maybe I should have included in the list. So other than that, guys, last thing before we get into the tips is I was very hesitant to make this video because I hate, there's a lot of clickbait videos like this out there, right? So these tips, this is not going to be, tip number 3, your left stick moves your character, right? Like it's none of that. These are real actionable items that I think can genuinely improve your experience playing the game, whether again you're a new player just picking up the game, or you are a player that maybe put it down, haven't finished the game, and you're thinking about coming back to it. And again, it's going to help you get the most out of the game, to help you enhance your experience and give you the least amount of friction. And by friction, I mean, bad friction, right? Because some friction in the game is good, right? Because we get to overcome those challenges and it feels good. Okay, yep, without further ado, tip number 1. Expert difficulty is the intended difficulty by the devs on the release of the game. Long story short, I wanted to keep this one first because this tip, there was some there was some maneuvering around they did in the beginning upon release. Basically, they created a new easy difficulty, and the normal difficulty that you see in the selection screen today is actually the original easy difficulty. So if you'd like to play the game on the intended difficulty by the developers, you are wanting to play the expert difficulty. Ultimately, though, choose whatever difficulty you like and that keeps you challenged but still engaged in the game, right? Tip number 2, don't ignore gear set bonuses. You should be synergizing them. Now, along with other tips like this, I will say, you play the game however you want. It really, right? It comes down to play the game however you want. It makes no difference to me. You pay the same amount of money for the game as I did. It's your game basically to play however you want. However, again, if you're a new player and you find yourself, not doing as much damage as you'd like, or the combat is lacking a little bit, this can help. So raw flat attack damage isn't always the play, right? Flat attack damage is good. However, your gear sets and gear set bonuses that you gather throughout the game, piecing them together, synergizing them, you can be creating hybrid sets, right, with different gear set bonuses, 2-piece bonuses, 3-piece bonuses, all that jazz. Or you can just go for one gear set bonus and just build it out completely and gather all 6 or 7, sometimes 8-piece gear bonuses. Also, this really will improve your damage overall. Um, but if you do ignore the gear set bonuses, you know, and you kind of do it like Bloodborne, right? Like Fashion Souls. I'm a big Bloodborne fan, by the way. But if you do decide to go that route, it again, it may diminish your experience overall, but it can also contribute to the notion that bosses can be spongy or have, you know, like a quote, like a high health pool. That could not be further from the truth. You can get good damage, and you can get it early on in the game. Bosses really do not have that much health. If you play aggressively and you synergize your gear sets, you're going to do a fine amount of damage. Also, quickly mentioning for tip number 2 for gear set bonuses, even weapon specific gear sets can be used for other weapons. One small example is the Crushed Dreams gear set. It's meant for spear, but a lot of the bonuses that you get early on in the set can be applied to any weapon, and I use it as my favorite gear set for my favorite weapon, which is the dual wield. So other than that, moving on to tip number 3, read your skill tree. Guys, I know it seems simple. It really does. I get it. But even me sometimes, right? Sometimes I don't want to read in games, right? I get it. But you really should take some time, a minute, maybe 2, I know, maybe 2, just to read your skills. It's really an investment in your gameplay. I promise you, it will go a long way. Read your skills. Sometimes they even do more than what the skills say at face value, right? On this note as well, I want to mention, and again, going back to point number 2, you can play the game however you want, but playing through the game, you know, going about it with just a light attack and heavy attack, definitely can diminish your experience. If you approach it that way, which again, you can play it that way, you can, but again, that can contribute to the notion of the bosses having a high health pool, especially if you're not really sure what you're doing yet, right? If you're not really capitalizing on all of the openings that the boss is offering you, and you're just kind of go about the game with light and heavy attack, and if you're going about it kind of with the same structure as you would a classic Souls game, right? You have your clear window to guard, then you have your clear window to attack a little bit, then you have your clear window to guard, rinse, repeat, right? Now it's my turn to either attack or heal. Now I have to defend. In this game, it really blurs the line, right? They give you a lot of tools. So, yeah, that would be it for tip number 3. Read your skill tree, understand them, right, at their core, and kind of try to understand everything about your skills, your stamina skills, and your spirit skills. Moving on to tip number 4. Experiment with your moveset. Familiarize yourself, guys, with your attacks. Become comfortable with your weapon's attacks. This includes the frames of your attack, the time it takes to perform your attacks. Now, certain attacks, both spirit skills and stamina skills, they have different startup times, startup frames, and recovery frames. Also, certain attacks, both spirit and stamina skills, are faster or they're better to be used when chained or paired with other attacks. These are commonly referred to as just combos, like broad combos in the Khazan community. But familiarizing yourself with these can really, really enhance your gameplay. I'm telling you, because again, it's not just light and heavy attack. Understanding how to interweave your skills, spirit skills, stamina skills, or even stamina skills together, and then into a few spirit skills, right? Understanding your moveset and how to make it as fluid as possible is really going to go a long way for you. I promise. So step number 5, try different weapons and different playstyles with the same weapon. So guys, one thing I really appreciate that the developers have done with Khazan is they have 3 weapons, right? Now, again, this looks extremely simple, and on paper, sure, it is simple. But what they've done with the combat system is they've allowed us to have many different playstyles with each weapon. So really, with each weapon, there can be 5, 6 different ways to play the game. You pair that with different gear sets, right, and gear set bonuses that even further change the way you play the game, even with the same weapon. So the same weapon can feel very different depending on what skills you use, if you want to do a brink guard heavy playstyle or a brink dodge focus, or again, the gear sets that you choose to run can give you different skills or augments to your playstyle. Guys, there is a lot of variation in the gameplay, even with the same weapon. So definitely try those different weapons out, or just try different playstyles with the same weapon. Push the envelope a little bit. If you beat the game with one weapon or one playstyle, and if you don't want to take the time really to really learn and understand, maybe that part of doing another playstyle isn't the most fun for you. You just want to just understand and how to play it. Don't be afraid to look up a guide, right? Or look up info, somewhere. I have a few on my channel, but definitely look up. There's a good amount of content out there to just accelerate the learning if you want, and then you can go ahead and just apply that playstyle because there's a lot of really fun skills to use. Tip number 6, be aggressive. Guys, be aggressive. The game rewards aggression, and it rewards aggression a lot. I'm telling you, they do. They give you all of the tools necessary to be aggressive from new game. So from new game, legitimately, from the very beginning, you can be aggressive. They kind of drip feed you the tools necessary to do that. But once they drip feed you for a little bit, but really, after the first couple maps, you get flooded with skills and ways to go about the game. It's really, really cool what they did. But yeah, they give you all the tools to be aggressive, negate damage, and deal damage simultaneously. And when you get in the flow of combat, and you are trading with that boss, and you are just, dodging, bobbing and weaving while hitting your opponent at the same time, it feels very good. But other than that, yeah, don't be afraid to limit test a little bit as well, right? Get aggressive. Don't be afraid to limit test. Even if you die, right? You're just going to respawn, try again. Dying is part of the game, okay? Don't be afraid to see, you see an enemy's combo and you say, can I get an extra hit in there? Fuck, go for it. Try to get that extra hit. If you get hit and you die, or if you get hit, oh no, I have to heal. Okay, fair enough. Get in there. Experiment. If you die, whatever. I'm just going to respawn. It happens. Try again. Easy. Tip number 7. Play new game and new game plus plus. Guys, really, I genuinely believe this. I think that new game... So here's what I'll say. Any playstyle that you can... Any playstyle you do in New Game Plus or Game Plus Plus, you can achieve in New Game, normal New Game. However, what changes is in New Game, because you really have a limited amount of stamina and spirit, you kind of can only maintain that playstyle in short chunks, right? So you have to you perform that playstyle in a chunk, then you have to wait for your stamina or spirit or whatever, and then you can do it again, right? In New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus, you get access to more skills, gear set bonuses, and resources to fight, right? Your stamina and your spirit, and you gain more access to skills to help maintain those resources. So really, in New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus, why I love it so much is because the mindset shift changes from trying to, instead of taking the time to kind of figure out those chunks. It's like, okay, here's my attacks. Okay, now I have to regen, or I'm going to heal. Okay, now I can just start doing another flurry, right? And I can attack a bunch, and simultaneously defend, whatever your combat loop is. But it shifts from that to having the resources to really perform an infinite combo if you know how to do it, right? If you know how to use your skills, your moveset, your gear set bonuses to your advantage, And you don't have to stun lock the boss into oblivion, right? Like you can let the bosses have their turn, but also dance with them, right? So the mindset shifts to trying to abuse every opening that the bosses have rather than figuring out, okay, well, I have this chunk here that I can deal damage, then I have this chunk where I need to regain stamina, and instead of blocking it up like that. I think New Game Plus, New Game Plus Plus really allow you to express your skills as much as possible. So moving on to step number 8. Now this one does definitely tie right into tip number 7, is try hardcore mode before you play New Game Plus. So guys, you will have to, once you beat the game, you will gain access to New Game Plus and hardcore mode. But if you choose to try hardcore mode, it will start you on a new save. So it's a new character, new save, fresh start from new game. The reason why I recommend trying this is because if you like it, you can play your hardcore playthrough, new game, and then you can play New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus and experience that in hardcore instead of your initial save. There's a couple things hardcore mode has to offer. Is a better camera, in my opinion, a better camera angle. I really enjoy the more zoomed in over the shoulder camera angle. I think it's just not only, it's more aesthetically pleasing, but also for me, it helps me see the bosses more, right? Because the normal camera angle, you're kind of centered and sometimes it can block the boss. It also is really nice because it can bring you a new challenge to overcome. Now, tip number 9 is give the ultimate challenges a shot as well. So guys, once you beat the game, whether it be, again, on expert or something in between, you're going to gain access to hardcore, but you're also going to gain access to the ultimate challenges. So the ultimate challenges contain 2 boss rush game modes, the Great General's Crucible and Berserker's Bloodshed. These are pretty fun. I like them. But the main reason I like them is because they give very good rewards for you in the main campaign. And basically the way they work is, I will just, kind of a quick summary. Once you complete them, you get tokens. In those tokens, you can redeem them. Well, first you pick them up. So to redeem them for your character, and be very careful on which save, which character you choose to redeem them on, because once you grab them from the barrel, they'll be glowing in a barrel in the crevice. You will take them out of the barrel, and those tokens that you get from the ultimate challenges will be on your character. Then you can exchange them at Blade Phantom for the rewards. The rewards are very good though. There's very good gear sets that you can get, and very cool transmogs. The transmogs for the weapons are pretty sweet. They're gold and they're glowing, and the armor is also cool too. So definitely give those a shot once you complete the game. Now, number 10, our last tip, guys, is check out the Khazan Discord. And please, if you like this video as well, please check out my other videos for additional help and some in-depth deep dives on specific skills. And the reason why I included this in my 10 tips is because there's a lot of cool peeps there in the Discord, and they enjoy helping the other Berserkers as much as I do. Please, I would not recommend, and again, I recommend going there over Reddit, simply because what I've seen on Reddit is there's a good amount of misinfo. To me, it seems like there's a lot of people there's some salty people on there. I don't get it. It's almost like some people have played the game, they don't like it, so they try to mislead others, or just like they want people to agree with them that certain aspects of the game, I don't know. Here's what I'll say. On Reddit, it's like a 80-20 split on like, some misinfo, some interesting people to people with good intentions who will actually give you good advice. On the Khazan Discord, it's the inverse, right? The majority of people in the Khazan Discord are just, chill. They're going to help you out. They're gonna give you the information you need. They're gonna give you the tips that you need. If you disagree, or if you have, just additional questions, right? They don't mind if you, again, if you just have a conversation about it, right? Definitely cool people in the Discord. Uh, so give them a shout. Definitely get in there if you need some additional help. I go in there from time to time as well. But the Reddit is something. It's definitely something. Um, no one in particular, again, just Reddit as a whole. So definitely give the Discord a shot. Check out my other videos if you want some additional info. Other than that, guys, yeah, that's all I got for my 10. Again, the reason I was making this video is just for those new players. These are actionable items that I genuinely believe that doing these things can only help your gameplay, right? It's only going to help you enjoy the game more. Yeah. All right, guys, if you have any additional questions from me, please don't be afraid to leave a comment down there. I'm pretty good about reading my comment section. Um, yeah, other than that, thanks for watching, and I hope that you guys are still playing Khazan, or I hope that, again, if you're a new player, you're giving it a shot and you are enjoying your time playing Khazan as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.